Good evening if you're in the States, or if you're in Asia, good afternoon. I'm just broadcasting today to update our progress on this campaign that is very significant. We're building a school for climate change adaptation. This is a really powerful way to bring strength to very poor farmers and women and girls that are doing the work every day in the field. So we want to help give them access to technology, simple technology, just maximizing their resources like water, energy, maximizing their space on their land, like building off the ground. There's a lot of tools that they need and simple things that we can bring them through this training center. So, I just going to be updating what we're going through. The process, I launched this about 2 days ago, and we've already raised over $1,000, so that's awesome. And that means we have $13,940 to go. So I'm happy about that because I think this is the beginning, and this is a really awesome start. And this is also just, not my only method to get the word out. There's a lot of other kind of efforts or ideas I have how to get this out there through different channels in Nepal, different channels in the US. I just want to discuss this project with more people. Like, if there's questions people have, they can comment on these videos and I can answer it the next day if I already stopped the broadcast. So right now things are looking good. Like I said, we've raised over $1,000. So I just want to give a quick thanks to those people. To my mom, Mary Bartnikowski, she was the first person to donate. Then Danny Knapp, she donated also on the first day. And then Becca Hamer, she donated just in the past 24 hours, and she made a very generous donation, and that's what helped us get to such a good start of this campaign. So I'm really excited to get more people on board, and anybody that has experience in agriculture as well, if you're into organic farming, sustainable farming, you can be a part of this project. You can be one of the people teaching at the center. If you're interested in building, you can be working with us to build this. We're going to be using a little bit of cement, but really trying to focus on traditional native designs, but in a sort of hybrid, modernized way. I believe I said in a previous broadcast about this method of building off of the ground, and it's not foreign idea to them, because there are ancient techniques called a machan, and it's a tower design that uses about 8 pieces of bamboo in some kind of like going up. I don't know how to describe it. But it's a kind of like X's, like it's got 4 X's, and they raise up a platform, and there's a mid platform, there's an upper level, and so there's a lot of testing with that. I want to adapt some of those designs. I've got a few examples that I've studied. I've never actually built my own. We have built some towers on the side of a slope. I think one of the things I wanted to talk about in one of these videos is just about why I'm qualified to build this center. Mainly it's because we've been building the past 2 years since the earthquake, multiple structures. This is the first dedicated school that I've ever built. I've opened training centers like tech labs and simple learning centers through renting office space. It's called shutter space. It's like a just kind of side of the road enclosure, like with a sort of garage door that you can rent for $20 sometimes. And yeah, through that type of testing, I've brought Wi-Fi to villages where it's never been before. That was pretty, I was pretty proud of that, like bringing internet to new places and providing a laptop and a person that could help people learn or make email accounts or Facebook accounts or whatever it is that they needed. I had somebody working there to help them, helping kids do different educational programs. So I've experimented with this learning center concept, but now that I've gotten enough experience with these native building styles, I just want to bring it together in a way that is for the farmers and for the people that are, it doesn't really matter if they understand climate change, they're a group of people that are suffering and will continue to suffer the most from climate change, whether it's, however you want to describe it. There's a lot of changes to the crop patterns and how people's farming is going. So it's a huge problem for people that depend on their crop. So that's why I feel this training center is very urgent. And we will, because it's such a big problem, we won't be focusing just on the training center. We'll also be getting a lot of content online for people to find and share freely. We'll be going with a truck to different locations around Nepal to train people in a remote kind of way, finding them and working with community leaders. So it's all a really exciting direction to be taking now, because I'm very happy to be working on this for the next years and make this something sustainable, self-sufficient, and I'm excited about the whole structure of it, that there can be paying students, but the paying students will fund the free scholarships for the people who don't have money. So I think that's a good model. That's the famous, like Tom's Shoes social business example that's really famous, that you buy a pair of shoes, you get a pair of shoes. So my vision for this is that we have information that's universal enough that we can get online users that are paying some kind of low cost monthly fee to be getting new information, direct information, even based on their own conditions of whether they live in a house, apartment, on a farm, and we can recommend them based on their climate, and we can teach them as a student just by joining this collective of people that are trying to adapt to climate change in a positive way. There's really no sense in spending too much effort on the cause of climate change. The most important thing, in my opinion, is focusing on steps to change how it affects us and change our lifestyle to fit in with it, and to work for having less pollution and having a lot of things to improve the quality of life. So that's what this training center is all about. It's trying to help the poorest people, but the vision is to hopefully also support corporations and governments, anybody, people from all over the world, to adapt green technology, green modifications to whatever their system is, whatever their process of manufacturing. How can we help anybody reduce waste, conserve energy, generate energy with simple technology that they can afford, that that they kind of just sort of making an offer they can't refuse. I mean, how do we demonstrate different profitable models for people from all backgrounds and caste and class can benefit and recognize and understand? So that's about it. I mean, I don't want to just talk about this every day, but I was really happy to say that we got that $1,000, $1,060 so far, and that's a great step. I'm excited about getting the next 13,000. I think it's a matter of just reaching out to people, different foundations and companies, and I'm just getting started. So I look forward to giving some new updates, but otherwise, if you have questions or if you want to ask me anything about, international development and agriculture or education or any of these things I've been working in, please ask. I think soon I definitely want to talk about buying land and leasing land, because I've learned a lot in the past year even, but especially 2 years, and I've come to the conclusion that leasing land is really the ultimate strategy, because buying land is it's basically that buying land is like a luxury, and leasing land really accomplishes everything that you need to have land. So I'm finding through some different tests of buying a small piece of land or leasing a larger piece of land for cheaper and comparing what the difference is, that I've seen that it's a much better way to just lease land and find people that you want to work with by making something on their land, people that have a surplus of land. That's really the way to go. So yeah, down the line, I want to make these videos a chance to teach people some of the techniques that I've done to kind of bootstrap these international projects, and I hope that I can inspire people to go travel and do these humanitarian work, because I don't like to see people just going to party when they go travel. I think, and even if they go and volunteer, a lot of times it's pretty dumb, the type of like volunteerism. So I think people need to learn, like, how can you actually make a powerful impact, and I want to help people understand that. If they have a week or they have a month or they have a year, I hope that I can give some guidance to make sure people aren't just doing this like poverty tourism sort of thing where you just go and Instagram yourself holding some African babies or whatever. Like it happens a lot in Nepal, and so not that people have bad intentions, but I just want to help people understand how to support good organizations and volunteer in the right way. If they want to start something, how to avoid massive problems that I've faced through people, people trying to steal from me, and all sorts of drama and stories that I can help other people learn through the cautionary tales of things that I've learned in Nepal or in Guatemala, or when I've tried to live abroad. And I've faced a lot of challenges, but luckily they've taught me lessons rather than stop me from doing this. And yeah, right now this is really the longest I've been away from the States. So it's been well over a year now, and I kind of want to keep connecting with people in my native language. So I think this is a nice way to get an update out to people, and it's a nice way to see people's support. I think it's been pretty successful so far. So yeah, again, please give me your suggestions, what you want to hear about. If you want to join me for one of these videos, I can put you on a little bubble up here, and yeah, we can talk about whatever. It's kind of like an open forum. It's not like I am not taking notes about what to say. I'm just kind of thinking of a topic and then talking about it. And this campaign to build the school is very important right now, because this is how I can get back to Nepal, because there's visa issues. I mentioned it in my past videos. I don't really want to explain it all over again, but basically every year I have to leave Nepal because of visa limitations. But if I raise an additional 15,000, the government will give me a business visa, and that means I can stay as long as I want, no limitation, and that will help the progress and process of the long-term success of this project. So it's never been a huge problem, because usually I kind of need a little break from Nepal, and I have people that can help me run things and manage whatever I need while I'm gone. It's a good chance for them to gain leadership. So that usually works out great, but there's a certain delay for things, that some things I can't do until I get back. So I really encourage you to check out these videos, to share these and try to help me with this campaign to build this school, and be a student yourself. Come to the school, help me build it, help me teach there. There's a lot of ways to get involved, so I'm really just appealing that I'm not just looking for people to donate. I want people to join me and get involved, because it's an exciting project and climate change is a massive issue right now. So for anybody who's worried about it or starting to want to get more involved, this is kind of a perfect chance, because the developing world is forgotten most of the time, and it's a good way to remember these people that live off the land and depend on the climate and for generations, and people that are losing their crops from excessive rain and flood and things like that. So again, thanks for watching, and I will be back soon with a new subject or some new concept. If anybody comments something, I'll go back to say more what's going on, answer questions. So yeah, all right, catch you later.